Good afternoon. I'm Kevin Simmons. Many of you know me as the science teacher with almost an obsessive focus on building satellites. This afternoon, I'd like to share with you how you might reach for the stars. But in order for you to reach your maximum height, we, the adults, need to better engage you. We need to better equip you to reach your maximum potential. We need to help you prepare to solve the world's problems. In this globally connected, hyper-stimulated, information-on-demand world, we need to disrupt education and the way that we educate you, the students. It's critical that we help to prepare you for your eureka moment. And we must do this by blue sky learning. In the dark ages, in the 1970s, I was a child. I was also the remote control for the TV set. Listen to this. So when you were young, you would turn on your TV and the image might be grainy or fuzzy or not focused. Your parents would send you, or me, to the TV set, and those things on top of that TV are called rabbit ears or antenna. And you would adjust the antenna. You would make slight adjustments and turn it till the image became clear. I was also the channel selector, and that required that you walk up to the TV set and turn a physical knob, a selector. Where we lived in the country, we had 4 stations. So, as with many children of my era, we dreamed and wanted to become astronauts or pilots or firemen or even astronomers. And I was one of them. And I was a world away because I was a poor country kid from the foothills of North Carolina. I was trapped in a prehistoric, pre-internet age as a NASA junkie. The closest I could get to America's space program was a stamp collection. Sometimes on the weekends, we would go to the public library and I could check out a book. A few times, I even wrote a letter to NASA using an envelope and stamps and would wait weeks. And then I would get an envelope back that would have some photographs and some pamphlets about this new spacecraft called the Space Shuttle. We've come a long way since then. Blue sky learning. I maintain that we need to effectively engage you, the young people today, through blue sky learning and blue sky learning goals. For our team, our satellite team here at school, our blue sky learning goal was simple: design, build, test, and fly a satellite and be the first in the country to do so in 3 years, first middle school. So that was our blue sky learning goal. You may say, what is a blue sky learning goal? A blue sky goal is a hyper-ambitious task, or it's often known as a big, hairy, audacious goal. Now, these goals need to be ambitious, but not delusional. It was ambitious for middle school students to build and fly a CubeSat into space. It is delusional to think that the same students could build a functioning Death Star by New Year's Eve. Also, to engage in blue sky learning, you have to have a growth mindset. You have to envision success that's beyond where you are in the present. You have to envision accomplishing a task that has not yet been done. In volleyball, I often challenge the players to see themselves accomplishing a task that they have not mastered yet or have not succeeded at, because I maintain that if you can't visualize accomplishing the task, then you're unlikely to ever achieve it. Also, as you embrace in a blue sky learning goal, you need to maintain a positive outlook and a positive perspective or attitude. By definition, by tackling a blue sky goal, you are going to face setbacks and adversities and failures. But don't worry, those are excellent learning points. We always learn, I maintain, more from the failures than we do from our successes. And also, finally, most importantly, you need to persevere. You need to have a sense of determination that's going to help you see the victory that is waiting ahead for you. Blue Sky Learning is going to require that you build an impressive and a useful network. In the case of our satellite team, I cannot overstate the importance of you developing a good team around you. I would maintain that success in life is largely about how well you work as within a team. If you're a good teammate, you are set up for success. So your ability to collaborate and communicate well with others is paramount. So while you're collaborating with your team and working on your blue sky goal, as I said, you will have setbacks. So you need to make sure that you allow for a flexible pathway. Keep your end goal in mind, but don't be so rigid that you can't allow the path that you take to get to your goal to vary some. That's life. When we build a satellite, we may start out in one direction and find that there's a better way. It would not be smart for us to continue down a path that we've already shown is not optimal. And finally, again, I need to state again, be resolved to achieve your blue sky goal. Now, what are some of the positives of Blue Sky Learning? Blue Sky Learning is going to allow you to tackle impossible tasks. I have seen it many times. Students are able to achieve far more than they themselves could even believe that they could. And that's just par for the course. You students, as you engage in Blue Sky Learning, you're going to find that you're able to give greater output and greater effort, and the product that you produce is going to exceed your expectations. Also, I call them tentacles. Our students that engage in Blue Sky Learning, we find that they have these enthusiastic tentacles that enter other areas of their academic life. Our satellite team not only has members that are state science fair grand champions, we have team members that have created comic books or created works of art or worked with our congressman for resolutions. And they will go on and change the world in 100 different ways for good. Blue Sky Learning also has the benefit to you, the student, of allowing you to complete these sequential and modular intermittent steps or goals. Now, in education, there's a phrase we use called scaffolded learning. So what we're doing, and let me explain this. Scaffolded learning means that as you advance towards your blue sky goal, you will gain confidence and you will gain a mastery of the material. And as you move forward, you're getting a deeper and deeper understanding of what's going on. Blue Sky Learning will allow you to do that. Here you see some evidence of some of the intermittent steps that we had to take in order to build our first satellite. This is called a CubeSat. It's a small form factor. This is a representation of the actual size of a CubeSat that we've used for training with our students. We started out with hardware on the desktop, emulators. We put those emulators on tethered balloons. We then moved to high altitude balloons where we used a radio that would interface with the global star network. That way all of our data could come down to us through a dashboard or a GUI. What's interesting about that is that's very similar to the radio that we used on our satellite that flew last December, the YSAT-1. So again, incremental goals that are allowing you to gain confidence as you move toward your blue sky goal. So, in addition to collaborating and being a good teammate, you need to build a network. Depending on the blue sky goal that you seek to accomplish, I recommend that you consider these. For us, we needed to interact with academia, with industry, with government, and even the world. We partnered with universities. We found 2 great companies that would teach us and help us learn. We also had to navigate our federal government with at least 3 different agencies in order to get the certifications and the approvals so that we could achieve our blue sky goal of launching the satellite. We have another group of students here at Weiss, and we work with teachers and students from other countries. Develop your network. When you attempt to do the impossible, make sure that you surround yourself with a network that can help you achieve it. Now, The original students created their own Blue Sky Learning Goal in August 2015. We submitted a proposal to NASA in November 16. They announced their selection of us in 2017, February. From February 2017 to September 2018, we labored and designed, and there was building, and there were failures and setbacks, but finally it all came together, and on September 30th, 6 students and I flew to Seattle, Washington, and we integrated our satellite. That's the process where the students loaded it into a deployer that's mounted on the rocket that will eventually eject it out into space. So we wait patiently from September 30th, and finally on December 3rd, from Vandenberg Air Force Base in California, our satellite, the WISAT-1, was launched into a sun-synchronous orbit by a SpaceX Falcon 9. Now you may say, wow, that's great, that's the end of the story. But no. See, one of the beauties and one of the most exciting things about Blue Sky Learning is that the students became so engaged and knowledgeable and did such great work with our first satellite, we decided we would keep building satellites with the eventual aim of being the first school to put a rover on the moon. So, I'm pleased to announce that last March, NASA again notified us that we were selected to build a second satellite, and we are going to use what we learned from the second satellite to work on our lunar rover. Many of you in this room may very well be the students to actually build these satellites. Now, what I think is one of the most exciting outcomes of accomplishing your Blue Sky Learning Goal is that when you finally reach it, you are now high enough off the ground that you can see that next Blue Sky Learning Goal that you want to achieve. Won't you help us in our Blue Sky Learning? Thank you.